Hi, I'm MakerMaddox, and I'm gonna mess this up so that you don't have to. Welcome back to another Bookbinding Basics, and I never say that I'm gonna mess this up so that you don't have to line on the Bookbinding Basic videos because it's something that I know, but today is an experiment. Today we're gonna be doing something I have never done before with regards to bookbinding, and it is the perfect bind. It's just never really kind of drawn my attention. I like the art of stitching. I like the process. I like the folding. I like the cutting. I like the stitching, and then the gluing, and then the everything, and then the and the making of the book. What are some of the advantages to the perfect bind? Well, you can use loose leaf sheets of paper. Kind of advantageous if you've got something already printed that you want to bind. Kind of cool. I feel like I'm using my hands too much. And what do I mean by single pages? Exactly that. There is no folding in a perfect bind, although you can do single page signatures to do it. But today we're just gonna do the loose leaf version. Though very simple in its steps, kind of feels like it would take longer because you gotta wait for glue to dry. You know, glue doesn't dry that long. So, you know, there's advantages and disadvantages with everything, and here I go with the hands again. People say that you should tamp the edges, right? This is what tamping is. You should tamp the edges and use this as your outside edge, you know? And then your glue on this uneven edge, I don't know if you can get that, that's where your glue should go. Now, I don't think that's right. Maybe it is right, maybe it isn't right. It doesn't feel right to me. It doesn't feel right to me because if you've got a page that's way that's way down here and other pages that are above it, I kind of feel like the glue is not gonna grip it as much. I kind of feel like if I get the most cleanest edge here and I can kind of glue it all at once, that's what you would want. But I could be wrong, but that's the way we're gonna try it. They say the ultimate test of the perfect bind is to just open it up to a random page and kind of shake it around by that page and see if that page completely falls out or the whole thing falls apart, then you've probably done something wrong. If you're skeptical that this will hold like I am, you might want to go that route of doing the little scored cuts. I've seen people do this with hot glue and PVA glue. I'm gonna go with good old PVA glue. Although I can see the advantages for doing with hot glue. It's kind of quicker, but it seems a bit messier to me, and I don't know about the flexibility of it. Hot glue is pretty flexible. It is a plastic, and I do believe PVA might be as well. I'm not sure. Tamp your edges and make them nice and even. Now, what I have seen is that you might want to give that edge a bit of texture. I've seen people run a blade by it really lightly, not cutting too deep at all. All you want is just to sort of build up a bit rough texture. I'm not gonna do that today. I'm gonna take a risk. I wanna do it the simplest way possible because I wanna see how strong it is. After tapping your pages, you're gonna wanna keep it together, all right? Just keep it together, okay? You're gonna wanna clip these somehow. You could do this completely with clips. I'm gonna go ahead and use my book press. Take that edge that you're going to glue, clip it just slightly, and then slide it into your book press. Now, once in your book press, this is gonna live there until you're completely done. Well, not completely done. You're gonna put a cover on it, but we'll get into that later. What you're gonna do is you're going to then apply a few coats of glue, obviously letting each one dry before moving on to the next one. So you apply, get some PVA glue and brush it on there and let that dry, and then come back and apply another level of glue. Essentially, you're gonna be adding glue on top of glue at this point, but you're gonna want, what you want is that sort of flexibility to be nice and strong, you know? You want it to sort of bind, but you also want it to be strong when it flexes. So this is a little bit of a slow process. PVA glue tends to dry pretty quick, but it does take a little while to do that. So it's kind of something that you can do passively. I'm in between coats right now, so I'm gonna watch some TV while I wait for it to dry. But I don't want to have to sort of keep looking at it. So here's my solution. I used my little palette here. I'm gonna keep this by me as I sit on the couch. When I notice that this is dry, it'll be a pretty clear indication that that thin layer has dried, and I can go back and add another one. Just a tip. I just thought of it because I was like, well, am I gonna have to keep getting up and checking this? And I don't know. Maybe you can use that. It's gonna dry differently on paper than it will on metal, but it'll give you an approximation. See if that works for you. Be sure that in between each layer of glue that you're putting on that you wash off your brush. Now, PVA glue is not that hard to get off, but if that does happen, get a little cup of warm water, put your brush in there. Don't forget about it though, because then you'll bend your bristles, but put it in there. It should be fine. So here we are, here's our little book, and I have to say, I am really happy with how it turned out. Damn, the kit is clean! Everything else that I do on this channel is some form of experiment, and a lot of the things that I do, again, on this channel are my first time ever trying things, but bookbinding is kind of my jam. I'm just wired for it, I don't know. So this was my first time trying to do the perfect bind, the perfect bind, and man, this came out clean. I put 3 layers of glue on here. You think, oh, just 3 layers of glue, that's it? Like, is that really gonna hold? Now looking at it and feeling it, this feels really substantial. Wow, that is sharp. I don't know if you could see it. I'm closing one eye. Why don't you close one eye and I'll close one eye and we'll both do this and kind of look down the spine of this book. Okay, so I promised you that I was gonna do this live. Did I promise you? I don't think I promised you. So this is the first time I've done this. I wanted to do this live on the screen, and there we are. Nothing happened, I just dropped it. Let's try it with 1 page. 1 page. This is being held together with 1 page. So, confirmed, perfect bind is kind of good. Is it perfect? I don't know. I think in the next bookbinding video, which will be coming really, really soon, because I'm gonna finish this book up in it, we're gonna be doing the cover. This week was just the bind. I wanted to pop back in for a sec because I was cleaning my paint palette from all the dried up glue that was on there, and I just want to show you. This is just 1 thin layer of PVA glue once it's dried, and it's really, really strong. Look at that, I'm pulling it really hard here. I don't know if you can see that because it's clear. I'm pulling it really hard, and it's not breaking. And this is a tiny, thin layer. So if you have any apprehension of glue being your only method of, look at that, I'm pulling it really hard and it's not going. I mean, I could definitely rip it, if I tear at it, but if you just pull the tensile strength, I'm a scientist now? Tensile strength? I think that's the right term. I like it. It feels really good. It feels nice too. It's like nice and smooth. It feels nice when you... Is that weird? Do you do this? Leave it down in the comments. When you do a perfect bind, do you do this? It feels nice. I'm the only one? Okay. Okay. You don't want to admit to it. All right. Okay. But yeah, that's our little perfect bound book. Look, it's the other cool thing is that before I let you go, the other cool thing is that it will lay completely flat. So if you're looking for that, there's the way to do it. Again, I know I'm repeating myself, but I'm gonna give this a cover in the next episode. So join me then. Thank you so much for watching. Roll the thing!